Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Boulder and some of the things you should know if you're thinking of moving here. By the way, if you want to know any more about Boulder or Denver or any communities and properties in the area, please hit me up. My information is below, my contact information, my phone number, email, and a calendar link. I'd love to help out. I'm a realtor in the county. Now, for several years, Boulder has ranked #1 in several polls. One of the biggest ones is US News. In 2020 and 2021, we ranked as the healthiest and happiest city in the nation. And I want to go into some of the reasons why. And another one is a Gallup poll by National Geographic. They said Boulder is the healthiest place to live, with the happiest, most content people, and that was a few years before. The last one was 2017. So I'll look at the reasons why, and I also want to look at why there are so many haters. If you've just done a search on YouTube for reasons to move to Boulder or Boulder County, I want to go into why there are so many naysayers out there. Now let's first of all look at some of the criteria. There are 5 indices with the US News poll, and some of those are work, health, safety, schools, and access to the outdoors. Similarly with National Geographic, very, very similar. But if we compile those two, we'll look at today some of the top things that are the positives and why these polls always land in Boulder. Boulder is very health focused, and it probably has that reputation everywhere in the nation, but we have Naropa University, and it attracts a lot of Eastern meditative mindset people. It's a mindful education. There are a lot of yogis that come out of there, and so we have a lot of yoga studios. We have a lot of access to the outdoors. We have climbing, hiking trails that are the most beautiful in the nation. And perhaps because it's a college town, we have 300 miles of accessible bike trails. You can cycle all around Boulder. There are bicycle lanes, there are special trails. You can actually cycle all the way into Denver, which is a good 17 to 20 miles away. We're also ranked as the most walkable city in the nation. So in other words, more people walk to work than any other town in America. And there are a lot of cities in the county, so Erie, Lafayette, Superior, Louisville, and Niwot. And there are a lot of park and rides around, so people commute in, but once you get off the bus, it's pretty easy. It's very condensed. You can usually walk to work. In a CNN article, Boulder ranked as the most popular startup destination. So a lot of high-tech startups are in Boulder, and a lot of headquarters for companies are in Boulder, and a lot of companies were founded in Boulder. I'll be reading a list of those in a second. So it's a great place for work, and we do have a lot of commuters come into Boulder. There are a lot of businesses. Now here are some of the headquarters. We have Osprey Backpacks, Go Light, Celestial Seasonings, Crocs, which is in Niwot, fairly close, Sierra Designs, Spider, Gaia, Justin's Foods, Einstein Bagels, Pangea, Obermeyer, Quiznos, Smashburger, Sherpani, Pop Sockets actually started here, Cedar Summit. Close by is Gates, Google's in town, Twitter API platform, Smartwool, actually in Steamboat, a bit close enough, that's a stretch. And Ball Aerospace, Otterbox, Western Union, Bhakti Chai, and on. That's just a few. Of course, the weather is great in Boulder. It's, I think, the second sunniest state in the nation. Florida being #1. I think California is close on our heels, but we have a lot of sun even in the winter. We do have a little bit more snow in Boulder as we back up to the Flatirons here and the foothills, but we do have great access to skiing, and there's another plus. We have many ski resorts very, very close to Boulder. I'll be doing another video on skiing in Boulder and around, and access to those resorts, and I'll be splitting it up so you have slopes that are best for beginners. That will be in the next video I will do. You have great family slopes, and then you have slopes that are best for advanced skiers. So a couple right now, I'll go over beginners. You've got Steamboat, which is a little bit away, Beaver Creek, 10 mile west of Vail. Eldora, which is 20 minutes from the middle of Boulder, has 60% green and blues, so it's great for beginners. Advanced, you've got Telluride, Winter Park, A Basin and Vail. And family slopes, you've got Cooper, Loveland, Aspen and Breckenridge, which are all between an hour and 2 hours away, not too far. We have 93 that runs all the way down to I-17. You can go west all the way into the ski resorts in the mountains. Did I talk about the food scene yet? There's so much. We have the best roasters and coffee shops too. We have, let me look, Neptune has a great barista in there. We have Trident, Laughing Goat, Boxcar, Alpine Modern. Some of our roasters are Ampersand, Bona, Ozo and The Ride. So I'm a snob, horrible coffee snob, and Boulder's the place if you like coffee. More on the food scene, we have some of the top ranking restaurants in the state. I think Frasca has been #1 in our 5280 magazine for several years. And our sommelier there is Bobby Stuckey, fairly well known. We have Japango, great sushi restaurant. We have Corridas. We have The Salt. We have Kitchen, which is an Elon Musk's brother, Kimball Musk restaurant. And another one of his is Pizzeria Locale. And so great restaurants. And of course, Denver's so close. We have Sushi Den. We have a Nobu down there, which is actually a Matsuhisa. And it goes on and on. I didn't even mention the breweries, but here is some. We have Odell, Great Divide, New Belgium, Old Mine, Avery Brewing, Coors, Sanitas, Four Noses, Left Hand, Odd 13, Bootstrap, Scar, which is actually in Durango, a little bit out, and Tommyknocker, which is Idaho Springs. So we have all of this on our doorstep. We are rather spoiled. But let's go into some of the cons. I've talked about so many positives. I didn't even mention the climbing, but we have climbers from all over the nation come here for the canyon and the Flatirons. But it's expensive. So what? It is very expensive. But we have communities on the outskirts that people do commute in. It's an easy commute. We also have Broomfield, which is a little bit further out, but the average house price, get this, is 1.1 million. Again, if you want to know any more about Boulder and the surrounding area, please hit me up. I'd love to chat. My contact information is below, and like and subscribe, and I'll get these videos out maybe once to twice a week. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.